I would say more than likely it is.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I would say more than likely it's a white boy. Brothers don't do stuff like that so random. You know what I mean? A brother would have a specific target. You know what I mean? A brother,
Right.
a brother gonna have somebody who he have an issue with. You know what I mean? The pastor, is having sex with his woman. Something like that would happen if it's a brother. But I'm 90% sure it's a white boy. You know what I mean? Now the composition of the church, I can't say who was the composition of the church. I want to believe it was, Issachar and Esau. You know what I mean?
Right.
I want to believe it's Issachar or Esau. You get the point? But to say for sure who it is, you know what I mean? I can't say for sure. You know what I mean? 1 second, huh? Yeah. But I mean I'm hoping it's not it's not Israel in there. But if it is, it's something that we could definitely learn from. You know what I mean? And if it is, I mean, even if it's not, like what happened a couple of weeks ago when the brother who had the church handed the keys over to Kahan, and handed his church over to the school. Like every Christian church needs to do that. Even the white ones, even them devils, they could empty the church. Leave the safe, leave the pews, leave the organ, leave everything else. Everything of value, but they could give the keys over and they could walk the hell out, and they'd be safe in their house. Ain't nobody running up in house and killing random people like that. But they ain't doing it. They ain't listening to it, and now the Lord is paying vengeance on them for it. You get my point? Like the Lord is now acting on it in terms of bringing judgment, or bringing violence to a place that should have safety.
Right.
You understand? A place that should be safe. A place, if there's any place that should be safe, you would think it would be the Christian church. You understand? You would think that,
Right.
It's, the church for sure. And if any place would be safe, it would be the Christian church. But now, it was what? The AME church in South Carolina. I shouldn't say first, but that's the most recent major church attack. But they've been attacking churches forever, burning churches down. You know what I mean? And now this thing. So we waiting on the details for the most part. You know what I mean? We for sure waiting on the details of who, what, when, where, why, and how. They say it in school: the what, why, the when, and the who. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we're waiting on that, but in the meantime, it's still a lot. It's still a lot of it's still a lesson that could be learned either way. Still a lesson to be learned either way. You understand? Still a lesson to be learned either way, and it's religions, the curses, the violence, the death. It's still something to be looked at that we could always look at and benefit and know that this is the Lord visiting. It's the time of the Lord visitation now. This is not a time to, not do what you're supposed to do. This is a time to get on point. You know what I mean? All the way on point and see how, see the best way to make things happen. You get me?
Right.
All right. So yeah. Did you have any questions, brother? Because tonight I want to definitely go into the curses, break down the curses a little bit more. Going to Martin Luther King, what came out recently with him, or what, I shouldn't say what came out, but more so, we've always known it was that. We've always said it was that. But this, now the general public is going to believe. Now when we speak it, they're not going to just sit there and think, well, you know, these is just a bunch of, angry black men who don't know what they're talking about. Now, you know, the white man done released the tapes on this brother. And, you know, to show that he was never someone to follow in that regard. You get my point?
Right.
Someone to follow. What, they're trying to steal your car. Go
Nah, that is.
Go and check it out.
In the hood, nah, in the hood,
Yeah.
somebody might be bong the car or touch it or kick a ball or something, you know?
I think this year with that Sheila is like, this nigga
Yeah.
doing this Israelite bullshit. Yeah. You know what I mean? We got to take that one car from him. You know what I mean? Yeah. So unless you had something different, I want to jump right into it. You know what I mean?
No, I ain't have no questions.
All right, no fun. If it come up, just let me know. All right. If anybody else had any questions, you know, you can type them in on YouTube and Facebook. We don't have a blog talk number right now, but you have a WhatsApp number. If you have that that phone app, it's a calling app called WhatsApp. 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 WhatsApp is a little, you know, look like a phone, a white phone with a green thing going around it. If you have the app, you could download it, and I'll give you the number to call the app, and you could, you could call into the class if you have questions you want to call into the class, and you know, you can ask the questions. All right. So that's it. If not, let's go Deuteronomy 28. They're ripping the car apart, right? They're stealing the transmission, the slugs, the axle, they're tearing that car up.
Okay.
I mean, they're tearing that thing up, right?
Come, determine 28 and
1.
Right.
All right, we're gonna go through and deal with some of the curses, you know, breaking down the curses in a way that Israel could understand, and you know, the way how you would break it down to fish Israel in, and you know, to prove who we are in the Bible.
Right.
You get the point?
Right. Come on. Deuteronomy, let's start here. Deuteronomy chapter 20. Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of thy Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Right. So what is the Lord saying here?
He's saying once you obey his commandments, we will be above all the nations on the earth.
Right.
Once you obey his commandments.
His laws, his statutes, his commandments, what he said to do and what he said not to do, he will, you know, he will set us on high above all nations that are on the face of the earth. You understand? He would set us above every single nation on the face of the earth. Like to obey the Lord. Remember, the Lord who is our Father, like the prayer says, he created he created everything on the earth and off the earth, right? He created everything. We are his children, or we are his firstborn, right? We are his firstborn. You familiar with that scripture?
Firstborn, can't remember that.
All right, one second. Give me Exodus 4:22.
Exodus 4:22. Right. Exodus chapter 4 verse 22. And thou shalt say, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn.
Right? As the Lord told us to tell Pharaoh that, right? Pharaoh, of course, who was in charge of Egypt, the land of our captivity. Tell him, listen, Israel is my son, even my firstborn, meaning y'all don't want to mess with these people. You understand? Just think about your firstborn son. You understand? Like as a man, right? As a man, a son is very important because that's who's gonna carry your lineage on. That's gonna carry your seed on. You get the point?
Right.
And from that, that's where your legacy is, right? That's who's gonna carry your name on, everything like that. So now he is saying Israel is my son, even my firstborn son. So it's like, listen, you messing with a people that you don't want no part of, bro. You understand? Like that's what the Lord is saying to Pharaoh. That's what he's saying to Esau. That's what he is saying to the people who enslave us. That Israel is my firstborn, not the white man, not the Arabs, not the Africans, not the Chinese, not the East Indians, not the Japanese. Israel is my son. Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Indians, we the Lord's chosen. We his prize. We the apple of his eye. You understand? We the Lord's chosen, and we his firstborn. We the ones who he looked at first. We the ones who he gendered up first. You get the point? And we mean something to the Lord. So understanding that we his firstborn, if we obey him, we get to rule the house. You get the point?
Right.
That's what the Lord is saying. The Lord is saying, once we obey him, we are going to rule the earth. Right? The white man is ruling the earth right now. I'm just giving you a full breakdown so you understand it. But of course, when you start teaching it, you definitely want to keep it as simple. You want to, damn near paint the picture for whoever is listening to you. Yeah, you get my point?
Right.
Right. So the white man is ruling the earth now, and the earth is mourning. The earth is sad. And people in Texas, they're in mourning right now. You understand? They're in full out mourning. They're gonna bury the dead. They're gonna have 40 days. They're gonna them yardie just call it 9 night, eating fish and bread for them week. That's what they're gonna have now. You understand? They're gonna have a whole lot of weeping and mourning now because this white man rules the earth. And because he rules the earth, you're gonna have stuff like that happen. You're gonna have them shootings like in Texas happening. You're gonna have drugs everywhere, murder everywhere, raping and robbing everywhere. You're gonna have a lesser people ruling over a greater people, right? Like as is the case in Trinidad. You understand? You're gonna have that lesser people ruling over that greater people. You get my point?
Right.
Right? So read it again from the top.
And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord,
Say where
Israel
you
is my...
Say where you at. Always every time there's a pause when whether even if it's you breaking it down or another teacher is breaking it down, once there's a pause between the last scripture you read, you always want to start leading off with where you're at. You don't know who joining in. You don't know who walking by to just start listening to you. Always start off where you're at. All right? Go ahead.
Exodus chapter 4 verse 22. And thou shalt say unto Pharaoh, thus saith the Lord, Israel is my son, even my firstborn.
right? Let's go back now to let's go back to Deuteronomy 28:1.
All right, come on. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Right? So now he's saying, if you hearken diligently, what does it mean to hearken diligently?
To listen with like
Come on, look it up. If you ain't sure, look it up.
I got come off. Chat.
You had to disconnect to look it up? Or just
yeah, come on.
It's just the video, right? You can't pull up an app?
Yeah, just the video, yeah. Come on.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that ain't no big deal. Find it?
Yeah, done diligently. Can having or showing care and in one's work or duties. Right? Diligent.
Right. So now explain what he's saying. Read it one more time.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently.
Oh, I'm talking about the definition.
The definition, having or showing care in one's work or duties.
Right? Having or showing care in one's work or duties. So now what is he saying in Deuteronomy 28?
How to word it out. He's trying to say
Come on. If he's saying saying hearken means to, special care and what does it say again? Care and what?
You're having or showing care in one's work or duties.
All right. So you having care or showing work in one's work or duties. Apply that to the law. Come on.
Showing care in the law, showing good works in the law.
Showing good works in the law. So what do you mean showing good works in the law? Come on up. Read the scripture one more time.
Do it perfect. Do it.
Read the scripture one more time.
And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, and preserve and observe and to do all his commandments.
Right. So if you hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord, what does that mean?
Showing care showing that you're listening.
Listening to what? Come on now, put it all the way together. Never give it halfway an answer. Put the whole thing together. Don't ever give it halfway an answer.
Right.
Whole thing together.
Showing showing care in the laws. Showing that you care about the law. You're doing it.
what do I do with the laws? Do I take the laws and wrap it up like a baby and swaddle it and kiss it and then give it some water? Do I show care like that?
No, you obey them, showing care that you obey the laws.
That's what you have to say.
Right.
You understand? That's what you have to say. Because why do you have to say it like that? Because the Christian church, no, because the Christian church believe they care about the Lord. How does the Christian church show the Lord that they care?
How they don't show that they care, the Christian church? They to do the laws to show that they care. You have to obey the laws.
So the Christian church obeys the law?
No.
How does the Christian church show the Lord that they care?
Well, they don't obey the laws, so
so how do
they don't show the law?
Ask a Christian. If you ask a Christian right now, do you love the Lord? What are they going to say?
They're going to say yes.
If you ask a Christian, do you care about the Lord? What are they going to say?
They are going to say yes.
So you tell me, I'm asking you now, how does a Christian love the Lord and care for the Lord?
By trying to do his commandments, by obeying.
So Christians obey the Lord?
No,
come on, you're not sticking with me now. You're not focus. I'm trying to bring you up to a level now. A Christian swears they love the Lord, correct?
Right.
A Christian swears they care for the Lord, correct?
Okay.
According to all your knowledge of the Christian church, what do Christians do to show that they love the Lord and care for the Lord?
Nothing in coming to mind.
Okay, what do they do in the Christian church?
They just sing and dance.
Who are they singing to? Who are they singing to?
Well, they say they're singing to the Lord.
So what is he singing for? Why are they doing all that singing and crying? And, oh, Jesus! What are they doing all of that for?
For the Lord. They're doing all that for the Lord.
Why?
Because they believe that, well, that's showing the Lord love.
So that's okay. So now I'm asking you, how does a Christian show the Lord that how does a Christian show his diligence to the Lord?
By singing.
By singing and dancing and banging a tambourine on their ass and running up and down the church. Just like that. Running up and down the goddamn church and the pastor working up a goddamn sweat. And all that is showing their love and paying $1 million in tithes and giving their kids over to be molested. And them young hoes in the church turning their ass up to the pastor. And them old women who hate black men cook for the pastor and not their husbands. According to a Christian, that is showing the Lord love. You understand?
Right.
I love the Lord. I go to church every Sunday. That's what they say. I'm a good Christian. I go to church every Sunday and eat pork every day. You understand?
Right.
Now read the scripture again from the top.
I can. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, and observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day.
Right? So how
and the Lord thy God.
No, you just blow past the whole point. You can't. Yeah, stick with me. Stick with me. Come on now. Stick with me. Still on that part with diligent, because you're gonna have to break this down to somebody one day, and you're gonna have to be explaining to them. So now what does it mean when he said, if thou will hearken diligently unto my voice? If we know Christians, in their mind, hearkening to the Lord's voice is to dance. And this, they pull the scripture too. They pull the scripture that said, sing praises to the Lord. They pull the scripture when David danced before the Lord. You understand? They pull the scripture to prove what they do is showing the Lord love and hearkening diligently to his voice. I'm asking you, what is hearkening diligently to the Lord's voice mean?
Well, hearkening diligently unto the Lord's voice, meaning to obey the commandments with good care and duty.
So with good care and duty, meaning what? Give me some more. Give me some examples of showing care and diligence in obeying the Lord.
Right, well, a good example is keeping the Sabbath on the Saturday. Allow adultery, not have sex with another man's wife.
Okay, now you can't. Okay, that's a good one. Okay. The Sabbath is good. The Sabbath is good. That's fine. The adultery with another man's wife, right? You can't just say that, right? Why can't you just say? Why can't you just throw it out there? You can't have adultery with another man's wife. Now you're talking to a Christian.
All right.
Talking to brothers in the world, sisters in the world. You can't have adultery. You can't have, what is adultery? When a man sleeps with another man's wife. When a woman who is married has sex with a man who is not her husband. Right? That's what adultery is. So you can't just say, when you talk to a Christian, do you think saying, well, you can't commit adultery and that's enough?
Oh, well, Salaki, they might ask, what is adultery? I mean,
all right. Okay, so I'm the Christian today. Well, so you can't have adultery? Good. I don't have adultery with nobody because I don't have sex with nobody's wife.
Right. Well.
That's it? That's good? We're moving on to the next one?
No. Well, adultery is a man having sex with another man's wife. So.
Right. And I'm a Christian in the world.
Right.
You understand? I'm in the world. Right? I'm a brother in the world, going carnival fete, going, partying. Give me what them clubs name in Trinidad is now. When I was there, it was 51 degrees on Zen. I don't know. They're still open?
They're still open.
All right. So I go in 51 every Thursday. I go in Zen every Friday, and I go in Glam Saturdays. Right?
Right.
I don't have sex with nobody's wife. So I'm good. I don't commit adultery.
So my response would be, how do you know that you're not having sex with someone's wife?
Well, I ain't seen no ring. You tell me she not married. She ain't have no ring. See, he didn't know what he's talking about. Listen, he didn't know what he's talking about, right? I ain't having sex with nobody's wife. She ain't have no ring. Okay, no sweat. I'm gonna help you out, right? You can't just say it like that because to a Christian, marriage is a ring and a preacher and everybody family there and the broad in a white dress and the brother crying like Tyrese at the damn wedding and putting a ring on there and a little child coming with the ring throwing flowers all over the place. That's marriage, right? You with me,
Can
Ak?
or can. To them, that's marriage. Can or can. Can or can. To them, that's marriage. Can or can.
Right. So when Christ said, don't commit adultery, is he talking about that? What is he talking about?
It's like he was speaking about if whoever man has sex with a woman, that's husband and wife.
Good.
So once a woman has a man, you're not supposed to be with that. Sleep with that.
Good. So as you're breaking down, hearkening diligently to the Lord's voice, which means you want to start simple. You want to start with the simple stuff. Don't eat pork. Don't eat shrimp. Don't eat crab. Don't eat lobster. Do not be a homosexual. Do not be a lesbian. Do not be a whore. You get the point?
Come.
Give me the scripture here. And this is in the Bible too. This is Paul's recommendation on young on people who just starting off. Hold on. Give me Acts 15 and 28. Real quick, 28 and 29.
Acts chapter 15, verse 28 to 29. For it seemed good to the Holy Spirit and to us to lay upon you no greater burden than these necessary things.
So now he's talking to the brothers there, and he's telling them, for now, it seemed right in the spirit to lay no greater burden than this, because when you're new in the truth, is a lot to catch up on. And you remember you coming onto the world 20 years in the Christian church, 20 years, moaning and crying on some church floor, talking about Jesus. You just like this. You're rocking in a church for about 20 minutes. Oh, Jesus. Oh, you swear you're having an orgasm, right? So now you're coming out of that, coming out of all you spent the last 25 years bowing to a rock. Bowing to a rock and, Bismillah Rahim, and you. And then you bow down and you get up and you spend the last, all of the days of your life doing that. So now you're coming into the truth. He's saying, instead of dumping the whole bucket of laws on you and expecting you to flip, start small, right? So it seemed good to us in the spirit to not lay too much a heavy burden on you. So for now, just do these things. Go ahead.
Verse 29, that ye abstain from meats offered to idols, and from blood, from things strangled, and from fornication, from which if ye keep yourselves, ye shall do well.
Right? So now he's saying, abstain from meats sacrificed to idols, right? Abstain from them meats, right? And those meats is lawful and unlawful. Once you sacrifice to idols, you want to stay far from it, because now you're trying to come away from idol worship. You get the point? This is in the beginning. You get the point? Now later on, as you get seasoned, you might be in a house where people celebrating Christmas, right? You might be in a house where people celebrating Christmas. Pastels, which is something, it's a Christmas dish in the Caribbean. It's not full Benjamin food, it's the tribe food. Ephraim them gonna know about pastels, right? Made with what? Corn flour. Corn flour, you grind it up, make a kind of dough with it, and you stuff it with meats like beef or chicken, and you put a little what's called this thing? Raisins and olives and peppers in it. Right? It's down, but you don't bake it like a patty, right? You kind of steam it, right? But it's traditionally Christmas food. So now you might be in a house of people who celebrate Christmas. When you now come into the truth fresh into your 90 days, it's advisable you just don't eat none of that shit. because it's too yummy to you in your spirit, where you might get pulled back into Christianity. Now, as you get seasoned and hardened up in the truth, you could go downstairs and grab a plate of pastel, you know, some ginger beer, some sorrel, and go upstairs and eat and drink, because it's food, and it's food that's just there. You have reached a stage in your spirit where you just recognize this as food. You get the point? But for somebody who is young in the truth, this is not just food. What kind of food is this?
This is it would be Christmas food.
It would be Christmas food. You understand? Right. So somebody young, he's saying stay away from meat sacrifice to idols. Also, what else do they sacrifice on Christmas to idols? That ham, which is unlawful. You understand? Right. That ham that's Christmas 101. That is unlawful. He's telling you stay away from that. He also saying stay away from what else? Fornication. Fornication is what?
Fornication is all the unlawful sex.
Unlawful sex. So once again,
unlawful sex.
So as you're breaking down how to hearken to diligently to the voice of the Lord, you want to start small. Always remember, milk. Teach them milk first. Break it down easy with milk. Give them the milk. Hearken diligently to the voice of the Lord. Stop eating pork. Stop eating shrimp. Stop eating crab. Stop eating lobster. All right? For Trinidad especially, you're going to have what? What else is unlawful that we eat? That's, you know, huge, big.
Well, they cook rabbit food.
Rabbit. What else? Yeah, come on, you acting like you ain't from Trinidad. Come on, huh? You're wondering too much for that. Come on. You have no pride in this.
Pork, pigtail.
Okay, well, pig is damn near universal in all Israel. But not everybody does eat some of the other shit we eat. All right, no problem. I'm going to help you out. Iguana, right? Iguana, that big lizard that people have for pets in Trinidad, that's a delicacy. Iguana, right or wrong, Galawan?
Yeah.
What do they call iguana?
Iguana, I don't know if I know. There's
a name for it. There's iguana, there's manikou, there's tattoo, there's lap. What do they call those types of food? Wild meat. No problem. I'm gonna help you out. Galawan I can little shame you because he ain't want nobody know he used to eat iguana and, you know, tattoo and lap and all them things. He want you all to think he's so righteous and shit. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? He should stink just like everybody else. So don't worry about it, Galawan. Right? The wild meat. Abstain from stuff like that. You understand? Leave it alone. Them things unlawful. Right? And the manikou. What manikou up here is what? Possum. I think possum is manikou. Right? Which one is the kind of porcupine one? That's what, lap or the tattoo?
Well, the tattoo, I believe.
I think tattoo is a porcupine-looking thing. It looked like a damn porcupine, right? Kind of white, right? And lap is what?
I can't recall the lap.
Forget what the lap is. I think lap is a rodent too, just like the manikou.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken. Right? If I'm not mistaken, lap is a rodent just like that. You know, iguana, all them things. You know, men eat alligator, not alligator. What we have? We don't have alligator. We have what's called that long one. Long skinny ass. It's like an alligator. It's not crocodile. I forget what they call it.
Reptile.
No. It's a specific one. Like how it says there's alligators and then there's crocodiles. There's two different type of animals like that. But there's another.
So like I think it's caiman.
Caiman. Trinidad have caimans. Trinidad don't have alligator and crocodile. Right? Alligator is them. I think alligator is the big, huge one that they have in India. The crocodile is a slimmer, longer one. And then the caiman is a smaller, long one too. We Trinidad have a ton of that. They eat caiman. You know, it's a whole ton of, you know, Grouper. Grouper is unlawful fish. So you want to start small and let them know, don't eat unlawful foods. You get the point? Don't eat unlawful foods and sacrifice to idols. Right? Y'all just had Diwali down there in Trinidad, right? About 2 weeks ago. Diwali is an East Indian festival. It's a Hindu religious festival. It's called the Festival of Lights. They talk about bringing lights into the world. We'll go into the history of Diwali maybe next week. And for Diwali, what do they cook? Parsad, barfi, gulab jamun, pulori. You know what I mean? Some of them things is unlawful. Some of them things is fine. In my opinion, don't touch nothing them East Indians cooking. Nothing. I don't care how good you think it tastes. Don't touch nothing. I know that them sisters down there like the what's called the barfi. What's the one with the milk and the raisins, the sweet one? It's a kind of sour wine, boy. Them sisters like that sour wine. They damn near put on the damn sari and turn into an East Indian overnight to get some sour wine and some barfi. Right? Like, stay away from all that because it's going to join you to a religion you don't need to be in. You understand? Just go get some regular food and stay away from unlawful sex. What is unlawful sex? Homosexuality. That's simple enough to understand and don't need too much explanation. Lesbianism. Simple enough to understand, don't need too much explanation. Being a whore. Simple enough to understand, don't need too much explanation. And from there, you segue straight into marriage. Because the Bible says sex is marriage. That person you have sex with, according to God, is your husband, is your wife. Right? If you had sex with 10 women before, don't sweat about it. They ain't your wife anymore because they don't having sex with somebody else. But that woman you're having sex with now, that's your woman. Your sister, you had sex with 10 men before, don't worry about it. You didn't know no better. The Lord ain't going to count it against you. But from today, whoever you're having sex with, that's your husband. A ton of sisters hear that and look for an excuse to leave the brother. Right? All it is damn near they would stay with him for 20 years having sex, just being a boyfriend or somebody who, you know, that's just my friend who is helping me, who's giving me some help. You understand? That's my friend with benefits. You know what I mean? That's my, what popcorn is call it? My chargy. That's my chargy, right? Like, that's just somebody who I'm with. But the minute they find out that this man is their husband, they panic and want to leave. So you want to explain that to them. You want to explain that. You understand? So now, not committing adultery would mean not having sex with a woman who a man is already having sex with. You get the point? That's brotherhood. That is his woman. You understand? And we as Israel, we have a culture that promotes adultery. Promotes adultery. It's, you know, it's in the fabric of all our songs. Every love song you've ever heard is a brother singing about another brother's woman. Every single one. Give me one, somebody name a classic. Name a classic love song, you know what I mean, that you've heard before, right? Name a classic love song. I.S.U.P.K. Virgin Islands. Do you have a Facebook page? I could send it to you through the Facebook page, the link for the Hangouts. All right. Just type in whatever the name of your Facebook page is, or if you could find me on there, just send me a private message. I'll send you the Hangout link. Anybody want the Hangout link, you could get it too. All right. I'll send it to you. Just send me a message on Facebook and I'll send it to you. Also send me an email so I can add you in because I think it gives trouble sometimes. All right. Every single love song. You understand? Mrs. Jones. You remember Mrs. Jones, the old Judite love song. Mrs. Jones. We got a thing going on. Her name is Mrs. Jones. You understand? That's why I say we got a thing going on. Her name is Mrs. Jones. You get the point? Every single one. Just the I remember sometime I was telling Jerome Hyman about this sister, this Jamaican sister named Tanya Stevens. You know who Tanya Stevens is, right? Right? And you know, she have a song named It's a Pity. Right? And okay, this is when I was really young in the truth, and I was like, you know, some sisters, they be down with the, you know, multiple husband thing. I mean the multiple wife thing, Salaki. So now I'm telling him about the It's a Pity song, how she's singing about, you know, She's saying it's a shame we have to play by the stupid rules of men, and that, you know, it's a pity he already have a wife. But in the next line, she say, and I already have a man in my life. Which really, the whole song is about her lusting over a man that's not her man. You get the point? But that was a rock. That was a jamming song for us. When that song come on, you know, whichever sister close to you, holding that tight. If it's your woman, you holding her tight and you grooving. You on top here, you stiff because you're holding her tight, but your lower parts moving all over the place. You know what I mean? You renting that tile and two-stepping behind it because that was the love jam, but it's adultery. You understand? It's adultery. Every song is, you know, I can do it better than your man. I'm boyfriend number 2. Call me. You know what I mean? Is your man treating you right? Every song is about adultery. It's in our fabric. You get the point? So you have to teach. You have to explain to them what the hell sex is. And that you can't have adultery. Adultery is unbrotherly as hell. And it's you, okay, you disrespect your brother to the point he's going to murder you over this broad. He's going to murder you. He's going to murder her and kill himself. And I know you done heard about, you know, how many stories you done heard about some brother done, you know, take the cutlass and chop some brother face, you know, run in the house and kill everybody. I seen a video somewhere in Trinidad. I don't know where it is, but I know it's Trinidad by the way the people was talking, where this Rasta man take a cutlass, run in the house. The man who is committing adultery with his woman was in the house on top of the woman. I think he started chopping the man. The man get away, and brother, he destroyed that woman. I mean, start chopping, brother, chopping. There was pictures of her face after her neck. I'm talking open to the white meat. Open over adultery. You understand? That'll hurt a brother. That will tear him in pieces. That's his woman. And it's something very homosexual about adultery where most of the time, a brother only wants that woman because another brother wants her. If she was single, wouldn't nobody pay her no mind. But because that's so-and-so's woman, I have to have sex with her. You get the point? You remember, Bounty Killer and Beanie Man had a beef? You remember that? Bounty Killer and Beanie Man had a beef. Bounty Killer's wife at the time was this, well, she halfway into dancehall. She's supposed to be some singing artist. Her name is Angel. Remember that?
Right.
Angel left Bounty Killer and went straight with Beanie Man. And Beanie Man got her pregnant. And then after, there was a whole ton of talk going back and forth over how Bounty was weak, talking about his manhood and meaning his rod weak, because he couldn't breed Angel. And as soon as Beanie get her, he'd breed her. And then all the talk going back and forth is Bounty is a batty boy because he couldn't breed Angel because he having sex with her in her, you know, somewhere else, or having sex with men. He wasn't having sex with Angel. You know, like, what the hell is all that about? You understand? And it's in our fabric to do it because that sister, she could have gone with anybody. She have a name. She's Angel. She light-skinned, so you know in Jamaica, she's like a prize. I mean, she ain't bad looking either. She could have gone with any other person, but she go with his rival. You understand? Right. Beanie Man only wanted her because that's Bounty Woman. Which means you have something for that man. You don't have something for her. You having sex with her because his rod was just in there. It's disgusting. You get the point? Like, that's the whole attraction to this broad. That ain't had nothing to do with, you know what I mean? So that's where you want to go with keep hearing diligently unto the Lord's voice. You want to be able to break it down like that so they understand, all right? So let's keep going. Let's move ahead because I definitely want to touch on Martin Luther King, and of course that the Christian church with that goddamn terrorism.
Okay.
All right, go ahead. Read again from top.
Okay. Acts chapter 15, verse 20.
Deuteronomy.
Right. Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Right? So now, if we obey the Lord, if we obey the Lord's voice, and do exactly what he say and look to doing it, and really, really set our mind diligently to do so, he will set us on high over all these nations. You get the point? Over all these nations, he will set us on high. Which means what? Now that you know you're not supposed to eat pork, when you go to the store, they may have, some new thing. What you want to do is start, reading the ingredients. You want to be diligent in making sure there ain't no pork in this. You get the point?
Right.
You want to be diligent as hell. You want to, you want to go and check KFC's recipe for what they're frying the chicken in. Around Passover time, the week after Passover is what? Feast of Unleavened Bread. All right? Feast of Unleavened Bread. Shalom. All right? That's the brother just came through there. All right? So now, for that week, you can't have nothing with leavening in it, which means yeast, baking powder, baking soda, baking powder. So now, for that week, you want to be diligent. You don't just want to put anything in your mouth. You want to check it. You might be on the road. You might stop somewhere to get some KFC pop. Well, we have Popeyes up here. You are KFC in Trinidad, Royal Castle. I don't know if they still are Royal Castle?
Yeah,
Royal Castle is the chicken of chicken. Don't care what nobody say. Right? Salaki. Right? You want to check to see what they have in the flour. To see if it's, most flours now come with the yeast already in it. Right? You want to check to see. You want to be diligent. And that's how you get the Lord's favor. You want to be extreme about obeying him. You get the point? Be extreme about obeying his laws. You get the point? And he'll set us on high over all the nations. All right? Keep going.
Verse 2, and all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee.
Right? And
as thou shalt hearken.
Go ahead.
As thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Right? And all these blessings. Now he's going to bless us if it is, we obey him. He's going to give us all these blessings. All right? Now skip me down to verse what? Where we going next? I'm got one.
Verse 15.
Verse 15. All right? Go ahead.
But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
Right? Now, if it is we don't hearken unto his voice diligently, if we just, if we ain't listening at all, if we half stepping, now all these curses will come over thee and overtake thee. All these curses the curses are what in the Bible?
Curses are the punishments that the Lord is going to put on you for.
That's right. Curses are the punishments. So all these punishments will come upon us and overtake us. All these punishments, right? They will come upon us and overtake us. Meaning when they say overtake us, what does that mean?
It will fall on us. It will come on us.
Okay, it said that in the line before. All these curses shall come upon thee and
overtake thee.
Right. So what does it mean to overtake thee?
It will be on us, then it will happen to us.
So what does it mean to come upon thee?
So like I said, if I made the punishments,
go ahead.
You'll face the punishments for not obeying the law, sir.
You'll face the punishments for not obeying the law. That's when it come upon thee. But when I say it overtake thee,
it will be too much for us to bear, sir.
You're onto it. You're onto it now. Think like a race. Think like you're running a race, right? On your marks, get set, go. You out front. You hauling ass, you out front. Say all these curses will come upon thee. somebody come up and catching you neck to neck, and you running. You're running right there with them. Like, oh, you saying let's run and watch them men and laugh? You're running. You're running right there. And then the curses overtake you. What does that mean?
Like I say, if I may, it means that the curses will be so heavily upon us, we won't be able to get out of them.
That's it. The curses won. Curse, the punishment which is the result of sin, it just overtake us. It's just running rampant. And that's our life today. That's our life today. You all know the murder rate in the black community is ridiculous. How much is it in Trinidad now?
400 and something, 460 something.
For the year, right? When I was in Trinidad, the murder rate was around 250 and was just getting to 300. And it was a big deal about 300. Now we at 400 and how much?
460 something.
460 something, and we still had 2 months to go. So you know brothers they had to kill about 20 people each before the year is over. And then once the new year come around, what's the first thing brothers has looked to do? Win the world, of course. As soon as midnight come, old years into new years, what's the first thing?
Like I say, if I may, in the Virgin, what happens is everybody full the clips have 2 or 3 magazines and the bus shot.
Well, that's the celebration, but there's something else, brother. There's something else. You kind of have to understand it. I'm going to help you out. Brothers want to kill the first person for the new year. There's a race to kill the first person for the new year. There's a race to catch the first body for the new year. You understand? Long time ago when I was a child, if the whole month of January passed and nobody got murdered, it was good. Now, brother, 2 a.m. We have our first murder for the year. It was recorded at 2 a.m. It even get worse now. Now it's 4 or 5 bodies January 1st. Right or wrong, Galwan?
Okay.
You understand? It's a race to clock the first bodies for the year because the punishments overtook us. You get the point? I mean, forget about the drug addiction, forget about the rape and the molesting. The punishments overtook us. You understand? Come on, give me the next verse.
Right.
Where we at?
This was verse 15, verse 16.
Right? All these punishments will come upon thee and overtake thee. Go ahead.
Verse 16. Deuteronomy chapter 20, verse 16. Cursed shall thou be in the city, and cursed shall thou be in the field.
What does that mean? When you read that, you want to say cursed. Cursed, not cursed. Just cursed. Right? Go ahead.
When it says cursed shall thou be in the city, meaning oppression, poverty, where we live, city, and the field where we work, and also where we work, you will be cursed, and you feel like, same oppression and thing with our master will be over us, yeah.
All right. That's definitely it. I'll take that. Bro, anybody want to add anything else?
Like I said, city means we won't have power to do anything.
Say again?
We won't have any power to do anything.
You wouldn't have any power to do anything. That's correct. That's another curse. You'll have no power in your hand. That's mentioned specifically with another punishment later down in the curses. We're gonna get to it quickly before we leave out. All right. Go ahead, Galaman.
Verse 32 or continue from verse?
Continue from where you at? No, it's 15, 16. After 15 or 16, keep reading.
All right, cursed shall be thy basket and thy store.
Right? Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. What does that mean? Anybody? Y'all take a shot.
Well, like I say, if I may, we won't have our own businesses. We won't have commerce. We won't have stuff like that. We won't have our own money. We would have to buy food from other people, clothes and stuff like that.
All right, I'll take that. All right, Galon, you want to add anything to that?
That's
right. Kush shall be that basket. Right, exactly. It's a punishment for our economy. That's right. Officer Iwalam out of Texas, or Mississippi, I forgot. It's businesses, right? Your businesses won't be profitable. Kenneth Merritt, that's correct also. Kenneth Merritt, if you just type in what city, I saw it. You're from Texas too. All right?
So like I say, if I may.
Go ahead.
I just wanted you to know that I'm no longer in the Virgin Islands because of the hurricane up in North Carolina right now. I'm going to
Most High in Christ, Most High in Christ.
I'm going to pause my video for a second because Captain Nayak is calling me right now. So I'm going to answer the call.
No sweat. Go ahead and do your thing, You do your thing. All right. Our economy is going to be hit. Our economy is going to be destroyed. You understand? Our economy is not going to be profitable. You get my point?
Right.
We ain't going to be able to, have any proper businesses. We ain't going to be able to get off the ground. And the Lord is punishing us in that way because every nation needs finances to stand on its own. You understand?
Right.
It's needed for us to stand on our own. It's not going to save us, but it's needed for us to stand on our own. You get the point?
Okay.
All right. Keep reading.
Verse 18. Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land.
Right? Cursed shall be the fruit of thy body and the fruit of thy land. Go ahead.
All right. The increase of thy kin and the flocks of thy sheep.
Right. So what is that talking about?
It's like this talking about the generation, the offspring, like the reproduction. Like you'll have problems having children. The land when
you'll have problems. You'll have problems having children, but do black people have? Is black people's problem getting pregnant?
No.
That ain't our problem. We ain't the white man. The white man's woman, her womb is like a desert. It's dry and barren. You understand? Right. She had to go through all kind of treatment. She had to prepare for a year to go, to get pregnant. She had to, keep trying and miscarriage and trying and just not getting pregnant and had to do fertility treatments and, IV, intravenous, whatever, conception. Like she cannot, bear nothing. You understand? Our problem ain't like that. You sneeze on a sister, she get pregnant. You even think about that tail, brother. That stomach start rising. You get the point? Our problem ain't conceiving. What's our problem?
It's like the woman working too hard, so she get miscarriage, abortion.
Bullshit. Wait, hold on. Hold on. So wait, you mean to tell me all them sisters who was picking cotton and getting the backs whipped, they was able to make wait, hold on. What you say? You say the woman working too hard on what? She had a miscarriage?
Right.
So you tell me these sisters today, they working harder than these sisters who's picking cotton? I need to laugh at. Don't buy none of that, all right? A miscarriage can happen for many reasons. Hard work is one of them. I ain't saying it doesn't happen because of hard work. But that is very dependent on the sister. You understand? And usually it goes along with some sort of other medical condition that sister might have. She might have sickle cell. She might have low blood count. You get the point? She might have another medical complication where the stress on her body of being pregnant and exerting herself, you know, your body, you know, a miscarriage is the body lightening the load so it can function. So the body rejects the foreign object, which is the baby. You get the point?
Right.
That's what happens. But a sister is built to go through that arc. You understand? She's built for it. That's why it's called labor. Going into labor is work. And she can do it. A sister in her health, you know, working hard is not going to make her have a miscarriage. You understand? And miscarriage is usually due to the egg not seated in the right place. Sometimes, you know, it's settled somewhere high up in the tube, or, you know, it just ain't hold. Or she has some medical condition, or she's not, you know, in the best of health to carry it, or the Lord just didn't want it. You get the point? But shit, you know, boat loads of sisters had babies on the boats and on the plantation. Name me one slavery today that sisters is working that, you know, is more work than picking cotton and getting the back work. Please, I want to know about it. So tell me, quick, I want to know. All right, our problem ain't that. Our problem is abortion, right? That's what our issue is. Our issue is that baby comes and we go to the abortion clinic, right? Or in the islands, you know, we have, you know, real cave treatments. You know, we have stuff to drink. You know, I think some people still do the hanger thing. The hanger was an old Negro shit. You know, now sisters have Planned Parenthood, but that hanger, you put something up in her to try and rip the damn womb apart, to bring the baby down and tear the sister womb up. They do it with a hanger, back alley something. She's sick for, you know, days because she's bleeding out because her insides ripped up. That's our problem. You understand? Now, that's one part of it. The other part is, if the baby do make it through that battlefield, you understand? If the baby do make it through the damn Gulf War, what happens as the child is born on the earth?
Like I say, if I may, when the child comes, the mother posts something disordered, might not take care of the child, or the child might be deformed or something. Or if the child is good, there will be no care really for the child.
Okay, that's true, but you all ain't thinking about the big picture, brother. That's true, but that's not our main issue. Usually, even if the child doesn't have somebody to care for the child, you know, sometimes, you know, it's a bad situation, but that's not the pervasive problem. The pervasive problem is more so we don't have the structure to raise children, and they are raised in the street. Our young daughters turn into whores. Our young men turn into, you know, so-called gangsters and drug dealers and faggots, and die before 20.
So like I say, if I may,
yeah, go ahead.
Of the fact that the family structure is destroyed.
Say that again?
Is it because the mother and the father is not there, or the mother alone is there and the father?
Just think the family structure is destroyed because of the Christian church. Because, it has nothing to, it has to do with which parent is there, but it still has nothing to do with which parent is there. How do I know? There are many people who grow up in homes with both parents there and still don't know any better. You understand? So it's not, you know, well, no father, no mother. That's, you know, that's definitely is a contributing factor, but it's not the underlying thing. Because we love the Christian church, our family structure is destroyed, and our children pay the price. You understand? Our children pay the price with death. You understand? Through abortion, and if they make it through abortion, brother, some cop is going to blow their brains out, or their friend going to blow their brains out, or over adultery with some woman, or, you know, they might blow their own brains out through suicide. You get the point?
Yeah.
Right? Cursed shall be the fruit of thy womb. Our children are being punished for our sins. You understand?
Right.
All right. Skip me to where we going, Galaman, after that.
So I have verse 32.
Let's go.
Deuteronomy chapter 28, verse 32. Thy sons and thy daughters shall be given unto another people, and thine eyes shall look and feel with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in thy hand.
So what are we talking about there?
So this is talking about slavery. Basically, I mean.
All right, I'll take that. That's one. That's one. That's one. Give me explain to me. Taken, given to another people, and there shall be no might in thy hands.
Another.
One second. I got one.
Right. Another race of people coming to take your children to carry them, maybe to enslave them or fight wars or whatever for them, and you weak. You can't do nothing to help. You have no weapons to help your children, to defend your children, and to take back your children. You have
right. Don't think weapons. Like don't think weapons, because there's a ton of people who have weapons.
Right.
Think more so power.
Right.
You don't have no power to get your children back. You can't, even if you pay a lawyer can't get your child back. You understand?
Right.
Even if you whatever. You don't have power. There's no power. And most of us don't have the resources to go get a lawyer, much less a good lawyer. You get the point? There's no power. There's no might in our hand. We don't have the strength it takes to go get our children back. What's another thing? Another thing is child support. That's one. That's for sure a major issue right after slavery. You know what I mean? Child support. But not so much given to another people, but shit, you stuck. You can't even go see your own child. And it is another people, because she's essentially giving your children to the white man. Now that child's daddy is the social services department. You understand? Now that child eats government cheese. You know what I mean? And WIC and TANF. You know what I mean? I know in Trinidad we don't have much of them programs. What we have in Trinidad for that guy?
It's like
what kind of government assistance they have? I know it don't seem to really be that
the government assistance program is.
I don't think it's that much. You might get some money, but in terms of getting food and shit like that.
It's like social development.
Yeah, your social development, but I most people, because it's that island, they're more family oriented. They don't really get too much food. You might get some money to pay bills and shit, but you could get food from neighbors and family. You understand? What's another thing? Going into them group homes. The youth training center in Trinidad is called YTC, right? Prison, right? Foster care. You know what I mean? White man come and take your child for the slightest thing. They have a thing now. They tell you the children's teacher, pull you aside and say, hey, we want to do a home visit. We want to see, we want to see the environment your child learns in. Well, I ain't home, nigga. Don't come here. Get the point? I ain't home. You never see nothing. How the child doing in school? Good? Well, that's all you need to know. What do you want to see inside here for? All right? They come to take your child away for anything, brother. A child that falls too many times, they suspect you abuse the child. And you know how black children are. They run, swing from every goddamn thing. Would kill themselves if you don't tell them shut up and sit down. Too many visits to the emergency room. I think this person is abusing the child. They come take your child. You get the point? Your children be taken away from you. Taken away from you and given to another people, and there's no might in your hand. You talk to your child through a damn glass or a window or in a room with somebody there. And then after an hour, they tell you, you know, time's up. That's a punishment from the Lord because we love, you know, a kufi and a dress. We like to say assalamu alaikum. We feel good when we say assalamu alaikum. You get the point? The Lord, that makes the Lord angry. We feel good when, you know, we in church and, you know, have the suits and the tie and dancing and clapping, and God is good all the time, and all the time God is good. Like the Lord hears that and he becomes angry at it. He becomes angry at everything we do that's against him. It's like a brother having a woman and she delights in another man. Nothing pisses you off more than that. You know what I mean? Nothing pisses you off more than that. Like you have a sister, brother, she down with you, but somehow she always showing favor to some other man. Worse again, if it's a man within reach. You know, sisters, they like, you know, all these stars and everything like that. I don't want to hear none of that shit. You better not tell me nothing about you like Tyrese and you like, you know, all them pretty boys in Hollywood faggots. Don't tell me you don't have no fan. You're not a fan of none of them. But, you know, your sisters are. You know what I mean? And if it's somebody within the neighborhood, within reach, and they admire that person, okay, there's nothing wrong with admiring a person for righteous admiration. You know what I mean? But then she might be a little too fond of this person. It pisses you off. You get the point? It gets you angry. Well, the Lord looks at that like if we are hoeing on him with Caesar Borgia, with the mosque and Muhammad, with, you know, Egyptology and, you know, the Ankh. You know what I mean? He gave us clothes to wear. We not wearing his clothes. We go wear, you know, Hotep clothes and Horus. We don't say he is God. We say the black woman is God. Like the Lord is pissed off at all of that, bro. And to make us understand how mad he is, take slavery. You understand? Right. Take your children being taken away from you. You understand? Take not having no might. Take being cursed in the field. Take being cursed in the city. Take not having no economic power. Cursed shall be thy basket and thy store. Take all of that, you know, take it down. Take it and roll with it and just, you know, have it. Be punished. You get the point? Give me, what's the next verse got on? Quickly, because no time going. I definitely want to get to...
So I got verse 48.
All right, give me verse 36.
36, all right, come on. The Lord shall bring thee and thy king, which thou shalt set over thee, unto a nation which neither thou nor thy fathers have known.
Right? The Lord is going to bring us and our king into a nation which neither us nor our forefathers have known. Right? That's right, I will. We sow in all types of fig leaves to hide from the Lord. The fig leaves are, of course, the metaphor from Genesis, where, you know, where they say they cover themselves with leaves. The leaves is the doctrines of the other nations. And to make us feel better about ourselves, we, you know, wear the kufi and the dress. We put on the suit and tie and become Christian. We would become everything else but a nigger. Anything to not be a nigger. You get the point? That's how we are, right? And because of it, the Lord will take us into a land unto a nation where neither us nor our forefathers have known. Like Moses didn't know Esau. You get the point? He didn't know, when I say he didn't know Esau, he did not know George Washington. He didn't know, you know, Thomas Thistlewood, who was a famous plantation owner in Jamaica. He had a plantation called Egypt. Right, and get some time, read up on him. His name is Thomas Thistlewood, right? And he wrote memoirs about all the brutality he would do on the plantation. And he had a fetish for dark meat. He loved them sisters, right? He kept a diary of how much black women he would rape. I would look for some of the articles and get them for you. I think I have some of it printed out. And he would go into great detail of how he would rape the woman. And, you know, of course, after a while, he started having some of them actually want to have sex with him. or he was able to seduce the young ones to have sex with him, and now that would be like a romance with them. And he was extremely brutal. They call the plantation Egypt. Thomas Thistlewood, he was actually a criminal from England who they sent down there to oversee a plantation where what they would do is England, they would not send royalty to the colonies. They would send the, you know, white trash to the colonies. You get the point? Which would be a criminal, right, drunkards, you know, the people who ain't doing nothing down to the colonies. So your plantation owners is poor white trash who was just brutal and uncouth and just got no brought up see. That's it. And one of them was Thomas Thistlewood, and he was extremely brutal. Extremely brutal. Like Moses didn't know him. You get the point? And that's what the Lord did to us as a punishment. Keep reading.
Come on. And there shalt thou serve other gods, wood and stone.
And there we was going to serve other gods. Right? Not him, but other gods, different gods. Wood and stone. What does the wood signify?
So like Christianity.
Christianity. Right? Go ahead.
Because the original Christianity was a wooden cross they used to be worshiping, right?
Right. Go ahead.
Used to signify, yeah. They used to signify that a wooden cross. You know, so yeah.
Go ahead. What else?
So like that's
even wood and stone. You're not finished that.
Right, it's like and stone. The stone will be the Muslim mosque, and the stone what is be worshipping in Mecca. The black stone what is called a cube. Yeah.
Right, that cobblestone, right? Like this is prophesied in the Bible that we would choose these religions in slavery. Wood and stone, the two biggest religions in the black community is Islam and Christianity. There ain't nothing, there's no religion bigger than Islam and Christianity in the black community. None. You get the point? And this is prophesied 2,000 years ago as a punishment. You get the point? It's a punishment to serve these false gods, to be there to, you know, to suffer under them. You get the point? That is a punishment. All right. So knowing that, now understanding that Christianity was it's a symptom of slavery. It's a punishment we have serving other gods. Now, what we do, we look into Christianity. Let's see Martin Luther King, all right? And remember Martin Luther King. Everybody know Martin Luther King. He ain't just the Brothers in America idol. And Martin Luther King is a worldwide idol for all black people, and blacks and Hispanics to a point. You get the point? Even the heathens look up to him. All right? You talk about Martin Luther King in the islands, it's a damn problem. All right? It's a problem. You know, Martin Luther King, he fought for equal rights and justice, blah, 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 blah. Right? But Martin Luther King was absolutely against the Lord. He was against the Lord and everything the Lord stood for. You understand? He was against the Lord and everything the Lord stood for. What do I want? Galawan.
Martin Luther King, I think it's Deuteronomy chapter 13. All right. Deuteronomy chapter 13. If there arise a prophet or a dreamer of dreams and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, and the sign or the wonder comes. This is Deuteronomy chapter 13, verse 1.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. If there arise among you a prophet or a dreamer of dreams, and giveth thee a sign or a wonder, And the sign or the wonder come to pass, whereof he spake unto thee, saying, Let us go after other gods, which thou hast not known, and let us serve them. Right? Thou shalt not hearken unto the words of that prophet or that dreamer of dreams. For the Lord your God proveth you to know whether ye love the Lord your God with all your hearts and with all your soul. Right? Ye shall walk after the Lord your God and fear him and keep his commandments and obey his voice. And ye shall serve him and cleave unto him.
Okay.
And that.
Okay, so you're explaining it to somebody who don't know Martin Luther King is in the Bible. All right.
Right.
As far as you know, is this the best scripture to go to?
Yes, it's like this.
All right, that's a good one, and I wouldn't read all of that. You understand? Always remember,
right.
Black people don't have a long attention span, right?
Right.
Have a very long. So you want to hit them with the milk that's strong and powerful, quick, fast, and in a hurry. You get the point? So hold that one. I wouldn't go there first. I'd go there second, possibly even third, but second maybe. Give me Jeremiah 23 and 25.
Jeremiah chapter 23, verse 25. I have heard what the prophet said that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed. I have dreamed.
All right.
How?
You see the difference?
Right, come on.
Explain.
How Martin Luther King said, I have a dream, that one day we all will come together and white people will come together with black people.
What does the Lord say about that?
The Lord said, the prophet, he have heard the prophet prophesying lies in his name, saying, I have dreamed, I have dreamed.
And what did Martin Luther King say?
He said, I have a dream.
Right.
I have
so now what does the Lord say about Martin Luther King's dream?
That he is a false prophet, or
let me ask it this way. What does the Lord say about a prophet that says, I have dreamed, I have dreamed?
That prophet only prophesying lies in his name.
That's it. That's how you break it down. Martin Luther King's dream was a lie. It was not from the Lord. You understand? We thought it was from the Lord because he is what? Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, right? Because he's supposedly a man of God. But he prophesied lies in the Most High's name.
Okay.
You understand? He prophesied lies in the Most High's name, saying, I have a dream that one day little black boys and little white girls would hold hand in hand and sing Negro spirituals and blah, 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 blah. It's a long-ass speech. They only play that part, but it's a long speech. Number one, let me, hold on. Let me see if I get this video. I'm going to post this video in the link and in the chat, in the YouTube chat and the Facebook chat. Hold on. 1 second. Bear with me. All right. I'm about to put it in there now. If you've never seen this video, you need to go watch it now. Well, not now, but after class, all right? As class is over, if you have never seen that video before, I suggest you go look at it. All right? Martin Luther King will be featured in I.S.U.P.K. heavily this week. That's all I'm going to say. All right? The name of the video is 4 Things You Did Not Know About Martin Luther King. All right? I'm going to just give you a brief thing on a couple of them. First off the break, Martin Luther King was not his name. All right, did you know that?
I didn't.
All right, no sweat. Make sure you watch this video because you're gonna have to answer questions this week, I'm sure. Them brothers down there gonna be calling you, talking to you about stuff. Martin Luther was not his name. His name is Michael King. They changed his name to Martin Luther after the Protestant Martin Luther to make it sound more, churchy, give him more power and prestige. All right?
Right.
2, he's not even a doctor. Added also. 3, that speech he gave in Washington, D.C., in America, on the mall, the I Have a Dream speech, he did not write that. He stole that from a Southern preacher, preacher's Sunday service or something like that. He just changed a few things in it, but that wasn't even his speech. You understand? Martin Luther King is a liar. He's a prophet that prophesied lies in the Lord's name. That's why you start with that one.
Right.
Go and read it one more time.
I have heard what the prophet said, that prophesy lies in my name, saying, I have dreamed. I have dreamed.
Right, go ahead.
How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? Yea, they are prophets of the deceit of their own heart.
They are prophets of what?
The deceit of their own heart.
Right, what does that mean?
They're just lying in their own heart, just pretensive in their own heart, Nothing true coming out of the.
You're gonna have to speak it plainly.
They're just studying themselves alone. All right?
Read it one more time.
Thank you. How long shall this be in the heart of the prophets that prophesy lies? They are the prophets of the deceit of their own hearts.
Right? Of the deceit of their own hearts. What does that mean?
Right? So like they're just for themselves alone. They're not for the people. Just
okay, that's true. But okay, you want to explain what it's saying? They prophesied the deceit of their own hearts.
It means in their hearts only have lies. They only have lies in them.
If in their heart only has lies, I have a dream that one day little black boys and little white girls will hold hands and sing Negro spirituals. Where does that come from?
That come from the deceit from his own heart. It just lies.
It's from him.
Him, yeah.
He made that up.
Right.
And if it's deceit, he made it up to deceive us, right? And deceive everybody.
Right.
Why did he want to deceive us? Why didn't he say, I have a dream that brothers would hold hand in hand and come together as one nation? Why did he say black boys and white girls? Why did he say black people and white people come together?
because he wanted to be famous, that he could have been the person to bring everybody together. He wanted to have,
I wish it was that. That would have been honest. I wish it was that. That would have been honest and noble. Well, not noble, but at least that would have been honest. But that wasn't it. You might need to. This is on the same tape I shared there on the chat. You'll make sure to check that tape out tonight. Martin Luther King loved white women. He tried to marry a white girl while he was in college in the South. Her father was not having it. All right. Then he married that woman, his wife, the sister, Coretta Scott King. Right? Coretta Scott King got sloppy second. Martin Luther King wanted white meat. He wanted that. You ever see the cartoon The Boondocks? Yeah, I know the brother there, the brother from Virgin Islands. You've seen it before, right? Galawan, you'll never see Boondocks you'll never see that
I can't.
in Trinidad? One second. Hold on. Let me see. Brother, you're gonna die laughing with this bullshit here, brother. The Boondocks is a cartoon about this brother, and he's raising his grandkids, 2 young grandkids. One is in the world heavily. They're young. They're like, 10 and 15 or something. I don't know. But one, he like worldly shit, the rapping, always scheming, he dressed up in wife beaters, baggy jeans, a Tim's, hair braided. The other one, his name is Huey, of course. He think Huey P. Newton. He think he's the leader of the Black Panther. He's a revolutionary, right? Dressed in he more militant, always, the conspiracy, this. He like a young black revolutionary. And there's this character on there called Ruckus. Ruckus is like an old brother who grew up in the time of segregation. And now that it's integration, he hates black people, right? He loves white women, all right? He loves white people, he loves white women. And of course, he tells everyone he's really a white man. And he has the disease that Michael Jackson has, which is vitiligo, what Michael Jackson said he had, which is vitiligo, which is a kind of leprosy where your skin turns from black to white. He has reverse vitiligo, where his skin turned from white to black, but he's really a white man, right?
Right.
So now this is Ruckus talking about the white woman. All right, hold on. Damn near we gotta get that as a video in here, boy. Put Martin Luther King face talking on the mall, and then show Ruckus talking about the goddamn white woman. All right, look at this. All right, hope everybody see it.
I'm giving up on women. It's pointless. These women out here are insane. The key to happiness is to eliminate all black women from your life. I mean, look at me. No black women in my life. Look how happy I am. I'm happy as a nigga with a new gun. No, Ruckus, that is preposterous. Oh, preposterous. Preposterous. Really. Ask me a question. Is you happy?
Sure am.
See? No black women in his life, nigga. Nigga free, and that's how he need to be.
Just because I'm married to a white woman doesn't mean there's a single thing wrong with black women. True, but you did marry a white woman. You have to find the woman who makes you happy, Robert.
Well, black women don't want to be happy. They squeeze out about 7 or 8 of them. Now, that's a temper. A black woman's body is that won't.
Hold on.
Time they 21, it's all downhill from there. Look, that woman's body over there, that's a temple. A black woman's body is a temple of doom. When was the last time you saw a black woman jogging, Robert? Ask yourself that question. And I ain't talking about them super steroided she-males in the Olympics that took their tests.
So like it.
Well, come to think of it, that's what I thought. You ain't never seen it, because black women don't jog. That way they don't sweat out all them industrial strength toxic Avenger chemicals they use to straighten out their hair.
So like it, this is not the one. Good night, bro. But you see what I'm talking? You see how his spirit is, right?
Okay.
I think this is one.
Now I know exactly what happened to Kobe. Kobe caught that white fever. White fever get in your blood, man, it'll make you crazy. And you know they got them short little skirts nowadays, and that what they call them? The tongues? Thongs. Yeah, right. They got the thongs all up the booty crack, and they got that sweet white nectar. Oh, Lord, have mercy. And after that, it's over. You wake up and you don't even know what you done. Just a pool of sweat around your ankle and a deep sense of satisfaction. Give me a minute, Robert.
Salakia, brother.
You need to take 5.
Salakia, Ruckus is in GMS, brother. I'm done. You understand? Like, that's, you know, that's the lust that Martin Luther King had for these white women, brother. He said, sweet white nectar. And you before long, you wake up in a pool of sweat and you don't know what you've done. All you know is you have a deep sense of satisfaction. Good night, brother. You done raped a woman, I don't know. But listen, you're going to find out that Martin Luther King, while in D.C. has a famous hotel called the Watergate Hotel. Right? It's down there in Southwest D.C. It's the Watergate Hotel. The FBI had bugged Martin Luther King's room, right? Like they do with anybody who they consider black radical. They bugged his room and they have tapes of him having orgies with white women. Now before today, the UPK been saying that, right? We been knew about it and was telling people, and Christians would want to fight us over it. Well, the story came out that Martin Luther King has some illegitimate child with some white woman somewhere, or whatever. Black woman, I don't know who. But anyway, he had a fixation for white women. He had multiple orgies in the Watergate Hotel talking about, I ain't no nigger tonight. This is a quote they have. I ain't no nigger tonight. And I'm effing you for God tonight. You understand? There's a tape with him running, some white woman running down the hallway of the hotel, butt naked, and Martin Luther King running behind her butt naked. Why? Because he started to beat their ass. Get drunk, have a ton of them in there, having a ton of sex. Somebody say something, he get to beating on them. The broad run of the goddamn room. That's how the story really came out. She ran away because Martin Luther King was whooping her ass. You understand? Martin Luther King had a fixation for white women, which is what? It's a part of Christianity. It's a part of Christianity, part of white supremacy, and it is his driving motivation for that speech, I have a dream. He wanted to unite us with the white man so he could be free to have sex with white women and don't have to hide to do it, which is how every Christian conducts his life. Every Christian looks for a plausible reason that they could sin. You get the point? Every Christian, when you tell a Christian stop eat pork, well, God know my heart. God ain't gonna kill me for a little piece of pork. God know my heart, right? T.D. Jakes said King David and Jonathan, who was Saul's son, who was David's homeboy, that was his dog. It was ride or die soldiers. T.D. Jakes said King David and Jonathan had a homosexual relationship. Right? That's what T.D. Jakes taught his congregation. Right? You know who T.D. Jakes is, right?
No T.D. Jakes.
Right? T.D. Jakes read where, I'm trying to find it for you now. Hold on. Far surpass the love of a woman. Hold on. Get the scripture for me. Get First Samuel. Hold on. Salaki, 2 Samuel 1:26. 2 Samuel 1:26.
Right, come on. 2 Samuel chapter 1 verse 26. I am distressed for thee, my brother Jonathan.
All right. Do you know anything about David and Jonathan?
No, I can't recall. No.
Anybody? The other brother? What's your name again? Huh?
So like I said, I have not received my Hebrew name.
No, young man. Do you know anything about David and Jonathan?
Not recalling right now.
No sweat. Before David became king, David was a servant of Saul, right? David would play the guitar, which the Bible calls the harp, because David could, David wrote the whole book of Psalms. David could spit. He had bars. If David was around today, you would say he was a lyricist. You'd say he had bars. Like how Vybz Kartel, everybody know Vybz Kartel because he's lyrically inclined. David is like that. If you read the book of Psalms, you'd realize that. You get the point? So David would play the harp and sing songs for Saul to put him back in a good spirit. David was his armor bearer, meaning he would keep Saul's shield and armor and sword ready for battle. And being working so close to the king, he's able to see everything, so he rose in power. Right? David came from a humble beginning. Right? He was a shepherd's son. He would tend to the sheep. He was a shepherd himself. He wasn't rich. When Saul commissioned him to work for him, David didn't really have much. Jonathan gave David everything. He gave him his clothes. You understand? Now, for brothers who, for us as brothers, how many you growing up with your homeboy? One brother, he have family in America who send Jordans for him, every other month. Another brother, he living somewhere in the scheme somewhere in the ghetto somewhere. He don't have much clothes. He don't have much brands. Both you all trying to go out. What usually happens?
So like I said, if I may.
Go ahead.
I would give him some clothes or probably a couple pair of shoes, you know what I mean? Because he don't have it.
He don't have it.
Yes.
Right? You look out for him. And you don't never tell nobody that that's his clothes you wear. You make it seem like he fresh himself. He looking right. Because you ain't gonna feel right going out all fresh and your homie, he ain't looking up to par. Right? That's what Jonathan did for David. And the scriptures say it's almost like their souls were knit together. Meaning they was tight. They was dogs. They was like, bim and bam. You see one, you see the other. There was homies. And in the I don't want to call it a war because it really wasn't a war. But Saul wanted to murder David. Just off of what we call bad mind. We just say bad mind.
Right.
Saul wanted to murder David over bad mind. Right? David rose in power. Everybody loved David. Saul got jealous. Really, Saul disobeyed the Lord, and David was his replacement. Saul knew it in his spirit. And the prophet Samuel told Saul he was done. He ain't going to be the king no more. The Lord was going to give the king to a better man. And as time progressed, Saul is watching David and is like, this is the better man here. And he hated David because of it. Right? So now Saul is trying to kill David. David have about 600 men with him there on the run. Finally, they squash the whole beef. Saul tells David he could come back to the city. David saying, nah, I'm gonna chill right here. Just let the time pass. Because what would happen? Saul would flip. 1 minute he cool, next minute he ready to kill you. So David give him some time. They went to war with the Philistines. Bang, Saul and them get caught. The Philistines killed Saul and Jonathan. Right? When David found out, he cried for Saul because he loved Saul. He worked for Saul, even though Saul fell out the spirit and wanted to kill him. David always said, he's the Lord's anointed. I will never disrespect him. But when he heard about Jonathan, brother, it ripped him to shreds. And as brothers, you lost a brother to prison or a brother got shot or killed. You know how we take it. Even that Jamaican artist, Popcorn, he have a song saying where we come from, and the whole song is him talking about brothers who get killed when he was coming up. I think one of his homies, I forget the brother name. Popcorn takes care of the brother's family right now because of it. You understand? And he say when he hear that this brother in the song, I forget the brother name. He say when he heard this brother die, it sting him worse than the sting from a python. Meaning it hurt him more than if a snake would hold on to him. You understand? So when David heard Jonathan got killed, brother, this is what David said. Read.
Very pleasant.
No, read it again from the top. So like it. Remember what I tell you.
After
a long pause, you want to tell everybody where you're at. All right?
Second Samuel chapter 1, verse 26.
Go ahead.
I am distressed for thee, my brother Jonathan.
He's saying that I am distressed for thee, my brother Jonathan. You know what distress is, brother? You ever see a brother, okay, you all saw the video with the brother, is a video from Trinidad where his homie got shot. He lying face down in a pool of blood. Some men pull up in a black SUV after, and they empty out the car. And the brother who got shot, his friend is like, oh yeah, he's still breathing, come, he's still breathing, meaning come pick him up quick to throw him in the truck to take him to the hospital because the brother's still breathing, he ain't dead. You're familiar with the video I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That brother was distressed out. He looking at his homie dead on the ground. And then he hear him breathing. He's like, yo, he's still breathing. He started crying. He's still breathing. He's still breathing. Come on. David was distressed out. Read it again from the top.
I am distressed for thee, my brother Jonathan.
My brother Jonathan. Jonathan was Saul's son. Jonathan was a Benjamite. David was a Judite. They was not physical brothers. But it's like, damn, this is my dog here. He said, I'm distressed for thee, my brother Jonathan. Go ahead.
Very pleasant hast thou been unto me.
Right? He is recalling how Jonathan treated him. Like a brother. Look out for him. Show him things. Give him everything. You understand? Really check for him. And he said, man, this brother was kind to me, man. This brother was, that's my real dog, man. He look out. Keep going.
Thy love to me was wonderful. Passing the love of woman.
Now, T.D. Jakes read that and said David was having sex with Jonathan. I'll say it now, like how people say it. Any real man understands this. But a faggot looks at, let me tell you something, to a Christian only understands what fills their stomach, quenches their thirst, or gives them an orgasm. That's why they would eat anything, drink anything, and have sex with anything. If the whole big enough, a Christian having sex with a dog. You get the point? A Christian doesn't understand brotherhood. You don't understand to grow up with a brother and you'll go through everything, You'll fight and come back together. You'll fight, I'm talking fisticuffs, bust each other's face. You'll come back together. You'll drink, you'll get drunk together, get high together. I mean, I'm talking about how brothers be in the world. And then something awful come and happen to this brother, and this is your dog, and you just hear about it. He's saying how David, now what is love according to the Bible?
So according to the Bible, love is obeying the commandments of God.
So now when David said his love to me was wonderful, what is David talking about?
How he treated him. You know,
his brotherhood. The way David kept the laws concerning him. There's a law on taking care of your brother if he don't have much. Scriptures say if your brother fall into decay, restore him. You understand? Restore him. Look out for the man. David said Jonathan's brotherhood to him was wonderful, surpassing the love of women. You know how a good woman would take care of a man. A good sister, go buy shoes for you. Go buy Timbs. Go buy jeans for you. Cook, clean for you. Do everything. David is trying to say, just like how brothers are, You have your rib, right? You have a rib. There's a brother who is you so tight, brother. It's going to be a hard decision if, you know, nothing. Okay, let me put it like that. Even your rib know you and this brother is, you know, that's your twin. You get the point? Y'all tight. Everybody know y'all tight. Yeah, I mean, even brothers, sometimes they talking shit is like, listen, woman, you can't get between this here. You know? This you can't get you my woman and over them a dog here. You know what I mean? Like it's like that. And David is crying over him. T.D. Jakes teaches that this means David and Jonathan had a homosexual relationship because T.D. Jakes is a homosexual himself.
Right.
A Christian will always look to justify his lust. And Martin Luther King tried to justify his lust for white women with the I have a dream speech. He loved them white dogs, brother, something horrible. Like how Rucker said, that was sweet white nectar. He loved that faded see-through skin. You look at them and you see the damn veins, brother. Good night. You understand? That old rotten skin. Martin Luther King loves it. You understand? That's also in the tape. The FBI had the tape that Commander Gen.YAHANNA did years ago. Y'all check it out. All that info is in there, brother. It's horrible. He's a false prophet. You go to Jeremiah 23 and 25 first. Explain how the Lord removed him. The Lord killed Martin Luther King. The Lord allowed him to get killed because he was a false prophet. You understand? The Lord allowed it to happen. And then you go to the other one you read first in Deuteronomy, 13? 13 and 1. Back it up, just verse 1. You get the point? That's Christianity that we serve. All right? That's the Christianity that we serve. And now with all the stories coming out on Martin Luther King, his friend Abernathy put in a book that before Martin Luther King died, he said, I fear that I have joined my people into a burning house. You understand? He's talking about he done, you know, mobilize black people to join America, and America is not the place for black people. Now, this is after he done achieve what he could achieve. You get the point? After he done achieve what he could achieve. He done, you know, he had his fill of white women. Now he realized, oh shit, I made a mistake. But people die. People get their heads cracked open following you. You get the point? Till this day, black people have an insatiable love for white people in the spirit. You understand? If not just in the flesh. You get the point? Like, we love white people to a point where it's, you know, we can't do without them. And it's because of Martin Luther King. You understand? And now we up in their churches getting blown away, brother. I know you all heard about that shooting in Texas earlier on. The brothers is hitting them, giving us a few info of it. I will the actual tapes. The actual tapes is not out in public, but of course transcripts are out. Different accounts is out. Maybe Trump might release it. I don't know. All right, but we tried looking for them before. I think it's transcripts that is out. Not actual, you know, footage. You all heard about the shooting in Texas. You know, the different brothers is definitely letting me know. They're saying it's some white boy. I forget the white boy name. Just show him. You see, he's a white boy, grew up Christian and converted to Islam. Put everybody away. You understand? Went in there and blew everybody away. Get the point? And there's black people in there as well. Looking for the post with his goddamn name. Good night. It just had the name of the devil here, boy. It's going to come up. All right, it's going to come up. Where the hell the damn name is? All right. And because we in Christianity, just like Dylan Stormroof went down there in South Carolina and killed people in that Texas AME church, this devil here went in there and killed, they say, at least 26 worshipers. He had 26 people, brother. What is his name? He's a white boy. That's why they're taking so long to really put it out. But some of the brothers, they have some picture of him and some information. I couldn't remember the name they put up. Somebody, if you're watching, just type in the devil's name, if you could. All right. So that's the Christianity we serve, and it's a punishment. Like the Lord is bringing terrorism to the white man and everybody else, and we need to fully separate from him. You get the point? We need to fully separate from him in order to survive, or else, brother, it is going to be a horrible, horrible day. You understand? For us, right? Like we see it because of worshiping Christianity, because of following Martin Luther King, because of following false religions. You understand?
Right.
You get the point? We need to.
What the hell is this devil name?
And I'm Salakia. So
Go ahead.
they said he was a Christian and he converted to Islam.
Yeah.
Right? Would Farrakhan have any input to say about something about that, or would he just be quiet and?
Shit, Farrakhan ain't going. Okay, he converted to real Islam. He enjoying Nation of Islam. Okay, this is what you have to understand. Nation of Islam is not Islam.
Right.
Right? Nation of Islam, that's not Islam. That's Arabic Christianity. That's the best way I could describe it. That thing Farrakhan has that he inherited from Farad Muhammad. No, Farad Muhammad. Yeah. No, Elijah Muhammad, Salaki. That thing Farrakhan has that he inherited from Elijah Muhammad, which they inherited from Farad Muhammad or Wallace Farad, who was a white man. Wali Farad is a white man that taught Elijah Muhammad. He was a white man who was a gypsy, one of them Romanians, who, you know, was into the magi, witchcraft, magician, stuff like that, the masonry, started teaching Islam, taught Elijah Muhammad. Elijah Muhammad started the Nation of Islam, and that's where Farrakhan inherited the command from, changed it to Fruit of Islam. I think now it's Nation of Islam again. That is not Islam. That's Christianity. That's Arabic Christianity.
Right.
You understand? Real Islam is what ISIS is doing. You get the point? What ISIS is doing is real Islam. You understand? Not, you know, walking around in a kufi and a dress selling oils, talking about Assalamu alaikum, my brother, and, you know, everything else like that. That's not Islam. Right? Real Islam is, you know, terrorism. Real Islam is terrorism. That's what real Islam is. What this white boy doing here? He ain't no Muslim. Don't think he could recite the Quran. But what he's doing is real Islam. You understand? So of course Farrakhan ain't gonna say nothing about it. Right? Farrakhan said he is he believe in Baptist, Methodist, Episcopalian, Christian, Muslim, Buddha. He believe in everybody. Because if God is the root, then to know God, you have to know all the branches. I'm paraphrasing, but that's what he said. I'm going to look for the tape and I'm going to post stuff for you because you'll think I'm lying. That's what Farrakhan said. Farrakhan, he believe everybody right now because his money getting short. You know, he ain't going to say nothing about it because he is not practicing real Islam. Remember what, you remember the 1990 coup in Trinidad? And then we're going to wrap it up after this. Remember the 1990 coup in Trinidad with Abu Bakr and the Jamaat al-Muslimin? That is Islam. You understand? Islam is not about peace. It's not about peace. They talk this. What do they say Islam means?
Well, Islam is Islam is a way of peace. That's what they say. Islam.
They say it practices peace, but the word Islam, what do they say it means? The devil name is Devin Patrick. The water says Sandra Simmons. The water. Devin Patrick or Devin Kelly. One of them two names. Horrible looking devil. He looked like he sits in his room since he was 5, just rocking. If you see his picture, he looked like he do this all day. And when his mother called him, he do this. He looked like one of them old retarded devils that, you know, get a gun. That's what he looked like, to be honest, brother. You see him, that is straight up and down Satan. All right? But the word Islam means they say it means to submit, meaning to submit to God or who they think is God. Islam means to submit to the sword because it was spread by the sword. Muhammad murdered countless people to spread Islam. You understand? It means to submit to the sword. You tell a people, I'll kill you if you don't bow to the stone. It takes a very special man to take death. You understand? That's why they spread it the way they spread it. They try to intimidate you, surround you, put a big, you go to prison, they surround you with the biggest nigga, get Apu to come to you, the biggest nigga, put the Quran on the table and ask you who you're down with. And of course, you was like, well, you're looking for protection in there. You better stand with the Lord, brother. You get the point? That's why it spread the way it spread. That's why they act the way they act, because it's about intimidating, it's about terrorizing, it's about submitting to violence. Islam is not about peace. It's not about knowledge. You ever battle a Muslim? You ever get into any battle with a Muslim? I done been on the front line with plenty of battles. I was in DC when the Muslims lined up and was ready to go to war with us. And Commanding General Yohanna cut them to piss, brother. That's the speech you all hear Commanding General Yohanna make when he said it's on Akkad's tape, Akkad's rap music. I forget the name of the song, but when he says I'm not letting anybody sell you drugs. You know why? Because you're a black man like me, and that's worth something. That voice clip was from a day, brother, when, brother, I thought that was it. Everybody had the belt off, the garment halfway off. We was ready to scrap, brother. Fully scrap. And brother, Commander General had to get up there and cut them to piss, and then said, well, listen, go ahead and shoot if you want to. Go for your 9. But before you load up your clip, prove to me that the Quran is the book, and they couldn't do it. Like, a Muslim doesn't have knowledge of the Lord. He has knowledge of how to serve an Arab. You understand? He has knowledge of how to serve. I'm talking about a brother who's a Muslim. An Israelite who's a Muslim, he has knowledge of how to serve an Arab. But he don't have knowledge of the Lord. He don't know what's in that book. You understand? He doesn't understand it. But what he does know is anybody come up against him, I'm going to kill them. Even if they are black man. Once they're not Muslim, I'm going to kill them. You understand? That's Islam. Not what Nation of Islam doing. You know, shirt jackets and bow ties. That ain't no goddamn Islam. What the fuck that is in the Quran? What the hell that is in the Quran? Bow tie? Muhammad wear bow tie? Shit. That ain't Islam. So Farrakhan, I'll be surprised if he address anything. This is what I need to happen. And I'm gonna close with this. I need Donald Trump and America and ISIS, and not ISIS, ICE, immigration control, whatever. The task force they gather to kick in the Hispanics' doors and deport them. I need ICE to kick in the door of every Arab. Right? Because Trump said the Hispanics are all criminals and rapists and the illegal immigrants. But last week in New York, an Arab murdered 8 people and he was a legal immigrant. This week, you have a white boy who was influenced by the religion of Arabs murder so far 26 people in a church, which is the religion of America. So the immigration policy has to be focused on Arabs. Kick in every Arab door and deport their ass. Put them in Guantanamo Bay. I don't care. Pack them all on a plane and fly to Saudi Arabia. But them Hispanics ain't doing nothing. They ain't shooting up churches. They ain't mowing people down in New York. In fact, they go to Home Depot looking for work. The Arab go to Home Depot looking for weapons to destroy. You get the point?
Okay.
Right? That's your Islam. That's your terrorism. Bottom line is separate from the white man all his religions, all right? So we're going to continue next week. I know we passed the time. Y'all just share the video all over the place, share the class all over. GEN.YAHANNA, tag everybody in Trinidad, let them know it. Get the point. The brothers who you met this week, just reach out to them again. You know what I mean? They're gonna come in slowly but surely. Just keep it up. All right, it's very this here is the truth. What they've been exposed to so far is all Christianity, and it's a shocking thing to hear the truth. It's gonna take them some time to get used to it. Right? It's gonna take them some time to get used to it. Just bear with them and keep doing what you're doing. The thing is gonna rise up, all right? Young man, you stay strong down there. You're an excellent captain. Brother who gonna look out for you and look over you like you was his own son. You just make sure and stay in order and stay in the brotherhood and get strong, all right?
Okay.
All right, with that, we're gonna end the class, all right? So Lord of Law, we pick up next week, all right, GEN.YAHANNA?
Okay.
All right, Yabshim Shabrak Thumb.
Yeah, Yabashim Shabrak Thumb.
Yabshim Alatan Bahasham Yahawashai. All right, we done. Shalom.
Shalom.